Well, we told you the economy could be going his way. Now today, the poll numbers to prove it. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto, and one day before voters have their say in 3 states, a sense Americans could be leaning toward the president for the time being across these 50 states. A new poll giving the president a 6-point lead over Mitt Romney in a head-to-head contest, at least among registered voters. This as the president is crowing about jobs.
We've created 3.7 million jobs over the last 23 months. We've created the most jobs since 2005, the most manufacturing jobs since 1990.
Well, David Drucker of Roll Call says if Republicans want to beat this guy, they better unite behind one guy and fast. Explain, Dave.
Well, Neil, look, the longer Republicans beat themselves up and don't focus on the president, the easier it is for the president to in a sense, have a political recovery as long as the jobs numbers and the economy gets better and people feel as though it's getting better. I still think that it's too early for them to totally worry about it. But clearly, when you're a candidate running against no opposition and your potential opposition is busy beating each other up, it makes it easier.
You know, they always eventually unite around a candidate, maybe happily, grudgingly. Maybe in 1992 it was with some reservations when that nominee emerged from 7 or 8 dwarfs to be Bill Clinton, but ultimately they won with Bill Clinton, despite what at the time was a fairly divisive race.
That is correct, and that's why I wouldn't pay too much attention, at least right now, to the fact that Republican favorable numbers have dipped. They're in the midst of a very tough primary. Romney beating up on Gingrich, Gingrich beating up on Romney, Santorum beating up on everybody. Romney's now about to shift to beating up on Santorum as we move forward. I think it just depends on where Republicans are when they get out of this process and exactly how long it takes. And don't forget, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama beat up on each other pretty good going into April or May of 2008. So it's really not too late. I think what's important to understand is that we've had some good economic indicators lately. The president has also been able to deliver his message unfettered, unchallenged, and that's usually the way things are. The horse race shouldn't be too concerning to the Republicans at the moment, but they should be concerned a little bit about dipping favorable numbers about their potential candidates. You
know, the rap against all of the Republicans is that, you know, they're arguing an economy that it's tanking. If it stops tanking, it just sort of muddles along. I mean, even with this improvement in some of the numbers, at best, it's not where we should be at this stage of recovery. Be that as it may, it's sort of like that old doctor saw, you know, where you're banging your head against the wall and the doctor says, quit banging your head against the wall. You feel a lot better, but you're not necessarily in tip-top shape, right?
That's correct, and I think clearly if things get better, if people feel as though they're better, and I'd say, Neil, how people feel, to me, is just as important as how things look in terms of the numbers.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, Republicans can still make a case. Do you feel better off than you were 4 years ago? It's an old cliche by now, but it's a great way to frame a contest if things aren't obviously tanking.
Good point. That's a very good point. David Drucker in Washington, thank you.